Okay, go. Now. So this is a walk that we took yesterday. This is a low-res fly around of the actual walk using some app that I had on my phone. Basically, this village, Llanfairfechen, that we started out in, was the first place we stayed in Gwynedd 11 years ago.
Yeah, 2012.
Yeah. And so Sarah discovered online a walk from the village that had like basically a prescribed walk and told you about what we were going to see. So we decided to do that yesterday. I've been sick for the last 2 weeks, and it's a little less than 5 miles. And this is actually pretty representative of much of the walk. It was really marshy.
It took us an hour to go the first mile.
Yeah.
Basically.
We did stop and look around, but one of the things we started out actually underneath, this is Iron Age hill fort called Dinas. So the walk started coming up the valley from Dinas. We were down below it when we started walking. But as we walked, Sarah would read to us the material, interpretive material from the description of the walk that she had on her phone, and here's some of that.
Walking to your left towards the base of Voyalud, you'll discover remains of settlements, a burial mound, a burial chamber. This tumulus is situated in the flanks of Voyalud and consists of a level.
Yes, and meanwhile we're showing you Carnadai ponies.
Yes, we saw dozens and dozens, probably over 100 Carnadai ponies, easily over 100 on this walk, which was pretty cool. Yeah, so this was obviously the first really good opportunity to use the drone that we had. We didn't see another person on this entire walk, which was pretty cool, over 3 hours. And we were able to use the drone to get some good footage to figure out, to establish where we were. I think it actually shows pretty clearly, which is nice.
Discover old settlements and a burial chamber. Looking ahead from location 4, you can see Llanfairfechen, the Pass of the Two Stones, which features an ancient legend. Just beyond the further of the two stones, on the right-hand side, there's a large cairn known as Bar Cliada Gauras, the giantess apronful. How come we've never seen that? The story is that the stones were dropped from the apron of a giantess as she and her husband were journeying to Ireland. To your right, you will see a multicellular sheep pen. This is a unique type found only on this side of the Carnadai between Llanfairfechen and Bethesda. They're about 200 years old and were used by the farmers to sort out sheep when they shared a common sheep walk.
So the sheep enclosure that Sarah just mentioned, you can see up there right in front of us, kind of in the distance, off to the right.
Yeah, and that is 200 years old. Otherwise, the landscape's littered with stone, many prehistoric sites, from burial chambers to huts, lots of hut circles.
Hut circles. Actually, you're about to see in a minute here arrow stone,
which was used to make stone arrowheads with. You can see there's lines on the stone where the arrowhead was sharpened.
Yeah, I imagine honed. Honed, that's
yes.
a good word.
There you go.
I like that word, honed. More ponies. They were just everywhere up here. It was actually really cool. Actually, this shot is the best one to kind of show the entire landscape, what we're walking through. And so we started down, you can see down below there, you've already seen shots of that. And we went not quite all the way up to the pass. So Bocal Divine is up, it's going to be up to the left as we come around here. Pull out, there it is, the low spot up there. And we didn't quite go all the way up there, but pretty close. And there's that sheep pen again.
We did get up to the Roman road that leads to Bocal Divine.
And we were actually probably a quarter mile from the pass itself, from the peak of the pass. And you can see how bedraggled the ponies are looking. It had been raining all morning. and it was kind of a spur of the moment decision to actually to go up. But I was just so tired. I've been sick. I've had this cold, and I just feel like we haven't done anything in the last 2 weeks, although we have been going out.
The ponies, because they're Carnadai ponies, the video we did a few weeks ago on the Carnadai ponies indicates that there's it's like special, they've got a genetic component that gives them resistance to water, which is good because there's so much water.
Yeah, it rains so much up here. And yes, all these walking shots were basically taken at the same time, and I just, with the magic of editing, made it cut the parts that looked a little more dry or less dry to kind of be transition shots. You know, I got to use the drone.
It's important.
You spent
He
lot of
got a
money on it.
license. He got
That's
two
right.
licenses, one in the U.S. and one in Britain. So
This
there's
is a second arrow stone, actually, and this stone that you're about to see is a game. And what was
Right,
it called,
it's
Sarah?
called the Nine Man's Morris. It's a game with stones and
Counting. or
counting.
something?
Yes, Nine Man's Morris board, a board game using stones and counters.
Yeah. And you can see we're actually coming down at this point. And this is kind of cool because more ponies on the hillside, but as you zoom in, you can see in the background there, it kind of looks like the sky, but there are actual ships queued up. I think they're heading over to, are they heading over to Liverpool?
Oh, if they're coming through this way, they came
Yeah.
to the strait.
So that's the Irish Sea in the background that you saw there. And we saw the couple hawks circling around. We're under a cliff's face over here.
And this is the Lavan Sands, which, so what we were on was the old Roman road, but before that it's this prehistoric road that the Pass of Bolchadevain, the Pass of Two Stones, involves. And this is like, from here to across to Anglesey was the road that people walked at low tide on the sand.
Yeah. And we had kind of a realization there looking at that shot that actually that's the alluvial fan for the Aber River, which was kind of cool. I should have known that because there was a tower built right there. This is Dinas again coming from the other side. So we've done the full loop now, and you can see we're underneath the hill fort. And this shot was just kind of cool. Figured it was a good one to end with. Now after we finished the walk, we were hungry. It was like 5:30, 5:45. We went look for a place to eat, and we couldn't find one. But in wandering around, we ended up getting routed through this little tunnel. I don't know if you saw at the top there, it said 6 feet. That was the high point of the tunnel. It's a good thing we were driving a Fiat 500, not one of the vans previously, because
We could not have made
it
it.
wouldn't have made it through, yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting that Google routed us that way.
Yeah, obviously Google doesn't know what it's doing. So that's the story. We're sticking to it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. It was nice to get out and walk. I'm actually feeling better. You know, over the last week and a half, we've gone out and done things, and every day we get back, and I just feel miserable because I've had this cold and a sore throat. And yesterday we did this, which was actually the most extensive thing we've done in the last week and a half. And I came back and I felt pretty good. So we eventually bought pizza from a pizza truck in Carnarvon, had dinner, and then crashed. So yeah, just thought I'd share this with you guys. And this is Carew, this is for you, but also for Craig Daniels. I thought he might like to see this, so I'm going to share it with him. Catch you later. Bye-bye.